Hey guys, Marsing here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today we are doing the mission for Red Zone Metal Cooler Core to beat the stage using a team with a super type unit of each typing. So super AGL, Tech, in physical STR. I struggled with this quite a lot because I was trying to do the video. I just recently put out the video of doing the Broly one without using a 200% leader. So at first I was trying to do this one without using a team that has like all the like anniversary LRs and the new download celebration LRs and stuff like that. But honestly, I was having so much bad luck with this run. I would keep getting to the Metal Cooler Core, and I feel like I tweeted about this last night, but I feel like the biggest issue with this mission for global is the fact that there just really aren't that many good super int units that can stand up to the Metal Cooler Core in the last part of this phase. Obviously in the tweet I didn't specify global, so I had a bunch of JP players come in and point out the fact that, you know, Trunks and Vegeta exist, and obviously this mission will be way easier on JP if you've got them, but we do not have them on global. So there's a couple of top picks that I saw people sharing their clears, screenshots and stuff. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I did consider him, but with no item active, even after he super attacks, he takes a lot of damage from the Metal Cooler Core. And of course, if he eats a super and you don't get that 50-50 counter chance, he gets absolutely annihilated. Another unit that I saw some people using was the Int LR God Goku. But, I mean, he's so outdated now until he gets his Easy A. Not only is he not doing a lot of damage, and honestly his links aren't that great, but his dodge is a 50% chance. So again, it's a coin flip, 50-50 shot. And against that physical Metal Cooler Core, if he doesn't dodge, he gets absolutely destroyed as well. So in the end, we went for the old faithful, the Super Saiyan 4s. Because we can use the int unit. I mean, there are a couple of other team builds obviously where you can use them, but we can use the int Goku and Vegeta 3-year anniversary Easy A that fuses into Vegito. We don't actually get the fusion, I think, during this run, which is quite funny, but they're obviously a unit. They have a built-in chance to dodge, they raise defense on super attack, and then of course we have the potential to get the fusion into Vegito. I don't know how much damage he would take from the Metal Cooler Core normal attacks with his damage reduction, but obviously he would then be able to potentially throw out a bunch of crit counters, and then he could be very, very good for this phase, right? But I feel like I say, especially for global, Super Int is the unit that lets that team down and makes this mission so difficult. At least it was for me. At the end of the day, when it comes to some of these red zone bosses, RNG does play a huge factor. I had a bunch of runs that were going really, really well, and then it would be the int unit that eats a super from the Metal Cooler Core. And you got to remember, as the newest final red zone boss, his super attack is around about as powerful as AGL Broly, it does over 1 million damage. So if you have a type disadvantage unit eating that super attack, even if you have a what's the word I'm looking for? A Whis active, they're still potentially going to be taking a crazy amount of damage. So obviously it is what it is, right? It comes down to RNG at the end of the day. But I was trying to think what to do here because we did not get a good set of key orbs. I really didn't want to put Super Saiyan 4 Goku in slot 3 when there's that many attacks. Because he is good defensively after supering, of course. But if he doesn't counter a super, he would take a lot of damage. It's actually quite an interesting thing I've discovered while playing. I say discovered, it's a thought I've come to while playing this stage as many times as I have. That in this first phase where you fight against the int Metal Cooler army, because it's set to being 3 turns, right? You get 3 rotations, you can't kill them, and then it goes on to the Metal Cooler Core phase. So you can't, like, there are certain units that you maybe, you know, really don't want to get hit, like on this rotation where I would really have preferred Goku to not be put in front of so many attacks. So against other bosses, you have the potential where you could just kill them, right, before slot 3 by doing enough damage. But you can't do that in this run. You have to go for 3 full turns. And then, yeah, you just have to take those attacks. So we eat a super with the LR Super Saiyan 4s in the middle slot. Fortunately, they have type advantage, so we didn't take too much damage. It was still almost 150k. Fortunately, this team has a lot of HP. And then our boy Goku, not countering the super, because of course the Metal Cooler army can double super you in this turn. So we take 400k damage, just about managed to survive. And then we get the Bulma support memory. I thought that would be a good one to bring for this, because it will automatically go off on turn 4, regardless of your team build. And because you have to spend the first 3 turns fighting the Metal Cooler army, that means it will go off on the first turn against the Metal Cooler core, and you can heal back some of the potential damage that you will have taken from fighting the Metal Cooler army. So I thought that worked out quite nicely, but honestly, during this run, we get plagued with issues with like the rotations, just not having good ki. It's, you know, the way the attacks are spaced out and all this stuff. And I believe when I did this run, this was my 3rd attempt for the day as well. So if this run failed, then obviously that was it for another 24 hours, because I did this while working the night shift. The events, like the day reset, is at 1 o'clock in the morning for me. So I was basically doing this right after the reset. So if it failed, it was literally like 24 hours until I'd be able to do it again. So obviously I go ahead and use a Whis here, because we don't really have a great slot 1 unit on this turn. The gods are sealed as well, which is incredibly unfortunate. I can't remember the orb field actually at the start of the turn, but I don't think there were really any like rainbow orbs to put them in slot 1. So I figured I was going to use a Whis anyway, so it's like, okay, we'll put the STR unit in slot 1. But his start of turn defense is not particularly high. And like I say, because this was my final attempt for the day, I just decided not to risk it and activate the double Whis. And you can see here, we eat a super attack, yet again another counter, so neither of the LR Super Saiyan 4s coming through with the super attack counter, and we still take 43k, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but considering we had a double Whis active, and we are on fairly low HP anyway, that is still a surprising amount of damage. I didn't think we were going to take that much. Now, obviously, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, when he gets off his super attacks, his defense becomes very, very high. So with the double Whis active, obviously he's not going to take any damage. So he's able to put out quite a lot of damage here. This is kind of what we're relying on, right? Especially once we pulled the trigger on using the double Whis. It comes down to, like, we just have to do enough damage now, because we only have 2 turns. So the gods getting sealed was hugely unfortunate, because they did triple attack. Now, we don't know, the 3rd one could have just been a normal anyway, but if they weren't sealed, that could have been 3 supers, and then we basically guaranteed that we're going to finish them off on this next turn. So, very unfortunate as well that this is turn 5. If this was turn 6, we would be getting the fusion with the Goku and Vegeta. And look at this, yet again, Piccolo, as great as he is, still needs 3 ki to super on this rotation, and we literally cannot pick up 3 ki from any of the slots. And even with the double Whis active, after seeing how much damage Vegeta took from that super, I don't want to put Vegeta, or the Goku and Vegeta, in slot 1. I guess with the double Whis, maybe I could have put Gogeta in slot 1, but even if we can't get the super, obviously the right play for this turn is to put Piccolo in slot 1. And then there wasn't enough ki. I didn't want to risk getting the super for Vegito and then not being able to get enough ki for Gogeta, because obviously on this turn he's the one that's going to be doing the big damage. So they do go ahead and get an additional super, but they don't crit, so they don't really do any damage. And then it comes down to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So at this point, I'm obviously sitting here with my fingers crossed, praying that he's going to kill them with all of these attacks. So he gets a crit. We get the additional super. I actually can't remember if we do crit on this one or not. But yeah, we're relying on him to output a ton of damage here. He does crit, but then unfortunately he doesn't get the extra super attack, because the friend is Rainbow, and I believe the friend has pretty high additional. And then look at this! Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, with his 50% chance, he doesn't counter a super either. So throughout this entire run, this is what I was talking about at the beginning, about how bad RNG can screw you over even with a good team. All 3 times, one of the Super Saiyan 4s that could counter a super got targeted by a super attack, they didn't counter a single time. Not a single one of them. So we actually do get a spot of good luck here to actually finish off the run, because now we have no item active, but there's no attack in slot 1. So obviously we go ahead and put Vegeta in slot 1 just on the off chance that he doesn't kill. Then he would be able to tank. And then look at that. He still manages to survive with a tiny sliver of health. But fortunately, we only take normal attacks. So Vegeta's able to tank those for double digits. And then Goku comes in with the 12-key super attack and finishes him off. So there you go. We finally managed to get it done. But even this run was pretty scuffed. Like, we got some pretty bad luck. There was a few spots of good luck here and there. But the fact that, yeah, we got no super attack counters. And this was my 3rd attempt of the day, like I said. So this was a nail-biting run. There were multiple points where I thought we were just going to lose. But there you go. So that is Red Zone Metal Cooler Core beaten with a full team of super type units with 1 unit of each typing. This mission was an absolute pain. Let me know down below what team you guys used. Obviously, if you're on JP, I imagine you probably used Trunks and Vegeta. But there you go. That is that mission finally done. I'll put up a video for the extreme one, which was much easier. And then, yeah, that will be us done with the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.